Used and broke several of these while beating Tom's back. Then he ordered, "Go and sit with the girls." The new girl turned her back toward Tom. Then, after a short time, she turned toward him, and she saw an apple on the table in front of her. She moved it away. Tom gently moved it toward her. She moved it away again. Tom returned it. Then she let it remain where he had placed it. Now Tom began to make a picture on a piece of paper. He held one hand over it while he worked, and she could not see it. She tried to see. He seemed not to notice her interest. Then she said,
"Let me see."
He showed her. It was a picture of a house. It was not good, but she thought it was.
"It is nice. Now make a man."
The man was bigger than the house.
"It is beautiful. Now make me."
He made a picture of another person.
"That is very nice. I wish I could make pictures. I would teach you at noon. Do you go home to eat?" "I will stay if you stay." "Good. What is your name?" "Becky Thatcher." "What is yours?" "Oh, I know. It is Thomas Soyer." "That is my name when they beat me. I am Tom when I am good. You call me Tom, will you?" "Yes."
Now Tom began writing something, hiding it with his hand. She asked to see.
"Oh, it is nothing. You don't want to see it." "Yes, I do." "You will tell what it is." "I promise never to tell." "Oh, you do not want to see." "I will see."
She put her small hand on his, and then Tom let her pull the writing away. She read these words:
"I love you." "Oh, you bad thing."
And she hid his hand, but her face showed pleasure. At this moment the boy felt a hand on his ear and a pull lifting him from the seat. He was returned to his usual seat. The whole school laughed. But although Tom's ear hurt, his heart was joyful. Chapter 7. An Agreement is Made. At noon, Tom ran to Becky and said softly in her ear,
"Start to go home with the others, and then return here. I will do the same."
Soon both had returned. Now they were alone in the school. They sat together, and Tom put his hand on Becky's, guiding it. They made a picture of another house. Then they talked. Tom was filled with happiness. He said,
"Becky, were you ever engaged?" "What does that mean?" "Did you ever promise to marry any boy?" "No." "Would you like to be engaged?" "What do you do?" "You tell a boy you will marry him. Then you kiss. That is all. It is easy." "Why do you kiss?" "They always do that. Do you remember what I was writing?" "Yes." "What was it? Shall I tell you?" "Yes, but not now. Tomorrow." "No, now. I will say it quietly, Becky, close to your ear."
He put his arm around her and he said the words quietly.
"Now, you tell me."
She made him turn his face away. Then she came near. Her breath moved his hair as she said,
"I love you."
Then she jumped away from him and ran around the seats, with Tom running after her. He caught her in a corner with her hands over her face, but her hands dropped. Tom kissed her and said,
"Now it is all finished, Becky. And always after this you can't love any boy except me, or marry any boy except me. And you can't marry any girl but me." "Certainly, that is part of it. And we will walk to school together, because we are engaged." "It is nice. I never heard of it before. Oh, it is fine. Me and Amy Lawrence...
The big eyes told him that he had said the wrong thing.
Oh, Tom, I am not the first that you were engaged to.
She began to weep.
I do not love her now. I do not love any girl except you.
More weeping. Tom took from his pocket the thing he valued most. It was a ball-shaped object of no worth, but as bright as gold.
Becky, take this.
She hid it from his hand to the floor. Then, filled with anger, Tom marched out of the school and over the hills and far away. He would return no more that day. Becky had not really wanted him to go, and when he did not return within a few moments, she called,
Tom, come back.
Then she wept again. Chapter 8. Tom Decides What to Do. Half an hour later, Tom was beyond Mrs. Douglas's house on Cardiff Hill. He entered a thick forest, went to the center of it, and sat down under a tree. He was very sad. He wished that he could die. For a short time. But soon he began to think again of living. He would go far away to countries across the sea. How would Becky feel then? He would be a soldier and return famous after many wars. No, he would join the Indians and hunt and fight with them in the far west. But no, there was something better. He would sail across the seas in a long, fast, black ship. He would follow other ships, take the gold and silver they carried, and then send them to the bottom of the sea. That was it. He would be a pirate, famous in the whole world. Tom Sawyer the pirate. Yes, it was decided. He would start his journey the next morning. At this moment he heard a call from far away in the forest. He went to a place very near where he kept some of his things. From this place he took a long knife made of wood. He tied it to his side. He was not Tom Sawyer now. He dreamed he had become a famous leader named Robin Hood, who lived with his men hundreds of years before in another forest. He advanced slowly, moving carefully from behind one tree to another. Believing for the moment that he really was Robin Hood, he said, "Stay where you are, my men. Do not move until I call." Now Joe Harper appeared. He, too, had a long wooden knife. Tom called, "Stop! Who comes here into Sherwood Forest? No person enters my forest until I say that he may." "I am Guy of Guisborne," said Joe Harper, continuing the game. "I go where I wish. Who are you?" "I am Robin Hood, as you shall soon know when you lie dead there on the ground." "Are you indeed that famous man? Gladly I will fight with you." They took their two long knives and began a slow, careful fight. Then Tom said, "Now fight faster." They were soon hot from their efforts. "Fall," Tom said. "You must fall." "You fall. I'm fighting better than you." "But the story of Robin Hood says that I kill you. Turn and let me hit you in the back." Joe turned, received the blow, and fell. "Now," Joe said, rising, "you must let me kill you." "I can't do that. It is not in the story." "It should be." "Joe, you can be Robin Hood for a while. I will be Robin's enemy, and you can kill me." This was agreeable, and more fighting followed. Then Tom became Robin Hood again, and he was hurt, and all his blood ran from his body. And Joe, who had now become all of Robin Hood's men, watched with tears in his eyes as Robin Hood died. Then the boys went home. They were sad because Robin Hood